Hello? Hi. Hey, I just wanted to let you know we're having a meeting in there at 6. So, yeah, down here in the basement.
Okay,
So, you're welcome. I was just getting set up. See here if we can.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, we're good.
Are you in the mine?
Think
A lot of
It's
color.
pretty dark.
Is that the Bellagio?
GSR, Grand Sierra Resort.
Ah.
95 degrees out here.
What are you hiding in your room, Bob?
Just me and my girls.
Mary, how are you?
We are on YouTube, Bob.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Your daughters.
Again, the guy gets in trouble.
We're not recording.
Oh, nice. You can't see me. I'm gonna stay right here. This is wonderful.
I hope we should have. Do we have enough seats here, Mary? We got Wentz said he was coming. We'll make.
What's it like there, Bob? Busy?
Oh yeah, the pool's full out here, believe it or not. This is a big hotel in Reno. So the pool's full of people. The hot tubs are full. They're kind of 6 feet apart. Most people are wearing masks around the casino, except when they sit down to eat or when they're playing the gaming a lot. They're not masking. Some are and some are. But I haven't spent $1 yet. Anybody want to loan me $1 to put in the machine? Other than that, everything's good.
What's one of the minutes?
Oh yeah.
Gavin.
Do you need? I can give you mine if you.
No, that's all right.
I don't. Unless there's.
Yeah, do you have
questions.
one, Mary?
You got an extra one? Mary? Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Should we check any of your temperatures? Mary brought the temperature.
How's my temperature?
Town hall stopped screening.
They did.
Yeah.
That's a good step.
Yeah. It's just a pain in the butt to walk over here every morning.
I thought you said they stopped.
They stopped screening. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, it
you
was
don't
just-
have to do it
Yeah,
anymore?
it was just, an extra stop in the morning.
Yeah, right, no. Well, I just mean that
Yeah. I
Sure.
mean, well,
it is so bizarre, Sean. Like I stopped at a few places in Lockport, sales calls, One, the lady is a big contractor, not big, mid to large size contractor, development kind of company. She's like, oh yeah, you can come to the door. I'll take your information. Just doing basic sales calls, nothing crazy. She has a mask on, gloves, cracks open a door, takes my stuff, closes it. I go down 5 miles away. The guy's like,
mask.
rip that thing off or I'm going to rip it off. Yeah, I'm like, that's 5 miles difference,
Yeah.
It is
It's
so
completely personal, I think. So, you try to respect whatever people want you backed off, then
that's what I do.
you back off.
I'm not exactly going in for a hug, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to talk to people.
It's a good tactic to avoid salespeople.
I know, isn't it? Like sum up, like we didn't have enough to deal with. Trying to get
I
to
know,
talk to
right?
people.
To try to break through, yeah. Davis. Hey.
Cam, how are you? Hey, Davis. Hey, Davis.
Hey.
It's Andy.
Come on in.
Do we have assigned seats?
No, you just, I figured,
If we sit apart, maybe we take our masks off?
yeah, I'm okay with that.
I was hoping I'm doing it. I'm out of,
Yeah, my
I'm
assumption
out of,
was the board up here and then, any participants or at least give you to a table and then if anyone else comes, they can just
Thank
take
you.
a chair.
I appreciate
Yeah,
having
no doubt.
you.
how are you?
Especially since I know
Norma, you can step up if you like, or if you want some space, you can hang out over there, either way.
There-
Yeah, if that's good enough for you, or over there, whatever you're comfortable with.
Sean, would you like to sign the closing documents now or after?
I'll sign them right now.
Getting business done already.
Problem my yearly complaints, the department's working further on. Things haven't been the same since Harley left.
What do you expect?
Every year I have to keep signing.
Well, that's a good knowledge.
Yeah, I know it's a problem now, but it's been that way for a couple of years. You know, it's not, and I understand these things.
You know, picking up your lease once a week, you're already. Once a week. Once a week, that's really tough. You only got one guy doing it.
Oh, maybe that's different.
Trying to stay away from each other while still minimizing contact.
But you didn't bring someone else. You only got one guy.
What happens in my neighborhood, people outside of the jobs need to
We know
Well, I know they do.
So it sits out there all day
Whereabouts?
long. So I can't bring it back.
Good area.
Shouldn't be allowed to do it.
Well, there's always there.
Well, that's the same thing with our guys who put out the parks. Go by, put it in there.
They do too,
except she
won't. Oh, yeah.
There's more and more people have animals.
Oh, especially, yeah, I can't believe how many people. are-
Hello, Dave. Davis, hello.
That
Hey, Bob, how are you?
Good, sir. How you doing? All right.
Good. Doing all right.
Well, we might as well chat on this side and they can chat on that side.
Yeah.
Congratulations, your school budget passed. It was kind of nice.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Definitely with the
Wow.
mail-in voting, we were, it was very uncertain, how that would affect the
Yeah.
vote, but it still passed.
So 10,000 votes, that's the most votes I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's about, I'd say at least 3 times as much as last year, if not more.
Hey, you got Janet.
That's pretty big.
That's
But I
okay.
think, we
We're
were
good?
expecting that, and we weren't sure it could have been even bigger than that.
Yeah.
Janet,
Actually, I like it. Gives
mail-
more participation. Yeah, well, it gives more
Yeah.
participation, people.
what
Same
kind
with it in any election,
Back
So-
to Zoom.
Okay, I'll mute myself again.
But anyways, yeah.
She's on her
It
way.
is such a crazy year, and everything is so different.
Hey, Janet.
I think about the move on basis. I think, oh,
Yeah, they're good. Well, that's-
Hi, Janet.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Okay, that's muted. I think we have everyone here. Get the work organized. I'm gonna start recording the meeting. Lots of technical stuff to navigate through. All right, 6 o'clock on the button here. I just wanted to, Mary had submitted around in the meeting packet, the death notice for the passing of Craig Swick. So I wanted to take a moment to recognize Craig. He was a member of the IDA. He was an attorney for the IDA. He was a deputy town attorney. So certainly we're thankful of his service. In addition, earlier, I believe it was in May, right? Mayor with Paul Becker had passed away, who was a village employee. For a number of years, I became close with Paul through the Village Economic Development Council, of which he was a steering member. Before me, he worked a lot with the direction of the village through the projects, through the state DOT project, and an all-around great person. I've talked with Craig a little bit on the phone as well, and just seemed like a very great gentleman and a public servant. So just want to have a moment of silence for the passing of those two men, please. Thank you. And we'll start with roll call. Cam Hall.
Here.
Bob Hutchison.
Here.
Thank you. Janet McGregor-Plar.
Here.
Tom Moses.
Here.
Andrew Palmer.
Here.
Davis Podkolsky.
Here.
Bob Reynolds.
Here from sunny Reno.
Norma Russer-Kelly.
Here.
And Wentz Valentin. Here. And assuming everyone on Zoom can hear everybody okay for the most part? Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Hello.
Can I please have a motion to open the June 25th, 2020 Hamburg Industrial Development Agency Board of Directors meeting at 6:03 p.m.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Thank you, Wentz. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. First item on the agenda are the minutes from the May 26, 2020 meeting. Any questions or comments on the minutes from last?
Can't hear you.
Can you hear?
Janet,
You're breaking up. You're breaking.
Okay. I hear some feedback. Is that any better? How are you, Bob? Can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Better? Okay.
the Janet guy.
Janet, can you hear?
I can barely hear you, but I can.
I'll move this a little closer and then maybe we'll work from there.
Sean, I'll move to approve those minutes.
Okay, first motion to approve the May 26 minutes was from Cam.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Is that better, Janet?
Yeah, thanks.
Microphone's closer. Okay. Okay, next, Bob, would you like to offer a review of the financial report, please? Bob, you're on mute.
No, that's good to keep me on mute, really. I just said everybody has a report in front of them. One of the big expenses this month was our audit report was $4,500. The second other expense was payroll and benefits was $8,400. That led us to a net income loss of $14,065.22. Overall, this year, we're still waiting for more on our income on this side of the aisle. Hopefully, over the summer months, we'll get that with some projects closing out. But this year, our net income is down $57,000 from our projected budget. Hopefully, like I said, with some projects closing in the future, we can bring that all back in line and bring us on the positive side. But I make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Norma.
Second.
Thank you, Andy. Favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Next is quick update from me. As Bob had alluded to, and even before our meeting started, for those of you that are not in the room, I jumped out of my seat when Jennifer had some closing documents. So getting projects closed has been a continued struggle since the pandemic started. We have signed documents for Carwell today, which more impacts the land corporation, but it's still a step in the right direction. Erie Wind and E1 are two projects that are approved but not closed, which means Erie Wind, we have the full project fee is out there because they don't require sales tax exemption. E1 had paid 20%, 25% of their project fees because they would require a sales tax exemption. They're currently operating right now, E1. The project is active, they're under construction and doing site work, which is great. That's moving forward and we're looking forward to the improvements and the job growth. Erie Wind, you know, the last update that I got was that, you know, they're working on it. So, yeah, so I followed up probably about 2 weeks ago, and then we got a response back last week that it's, you know, it's still, they're working towards it. But I don't know if with confidence we can even anticipate a date. So I spoke with Jennifer about like recourse or action. You know, they would need to take some action by the end of the year before we, you know, if they would essentially term out, we approved them, I believe, in December, and you know, with haste, because they were looking to start construction and make their purchases, and we're still waiting on closing. So they would run risk of the agreement falling apart if they did not close before the end of the year. So optimistically, you know, the project would be moving forward. They don't want to run the risk of that community benefit agreement that was negotiated. You know, and we could figure that into our revenue for 2020. But certainly, you know, we'd like to see that sooner.
Sean?
Yes, sir.
I have a question. Is EC80, our Erie County Development Agency, are they in the same predicament we are with not closing with them?
Yes, they are. Yeah, they're
Okay.
experiencing the same delay. So I did talk to Bob Murray. Yeah. So Bob Murray is the ECIDA attorney, and John Capolino, I've spoken with them on it, and similar fashion as well.
Okay. So it's just not us, it's a community-wide with Erie County, and I'm sure Lackawanna's got something that the same issue then, right? It has nothing to do with us. I just want to make that point.
No, it's not that it's moving forward in another area. It's
Right.
just that, you know, I'm just pushing it from a cash flow perspective.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. The town comprehensive plan, the applications are the deadline has been passed. So we should be reviewing the packages for that comprehensive plan, which is great, a good step forward for the town. I led a panel discussion for the Southtowns Regional Chamber of Commerce, and it was to help area businesses essentially from this day forward in terms of new projects, new investments, where they can obtain financing, what has changed in the banking landscape in terms of financing requirements, how to work with your landlords and your mortgagors from a corporate real estate perspective. It was led by me, and we had the SBA, Small Business Administration, on the panel discussion, M&T Bank, and then also Hannah Commercial Real Estate. So it was good. It was fairly well attended. It was recorded, like a lot of these new meetings are for future use, and hopefully to instill confidence in the business community that there are resources out there for them, not only to just maintain and establish and maintain their current payroll, but also to hopefully expand. There is our next board meeting is on the 28th. There is a chicken barbecue fundraiser for the Chamber of Commerce, and I would have tickets. I do have tickets for that if you're interested in pre-sale tickets. My meetings are back on with the town supervisor, monthly standing meeting, which we had pre-pandemic, and those are being reestablished just to keep the supervisor in the loop as a liaison for the town board regarding the IGA and the LDC. And a lot of the topics here are being carried for previous months, so they're on there and continuing to move forward some of these projects. Mary and I attended a virtual training session for the New York State Economic Development Council, which was helpful, and I'll send a link around. It's a lengthy session, but there is a good, probably 2-hour session from the Authority Budget Office on board member responsibilities. So it would carry not only through this organization, for other organizations you may be a part of. And Jennifer, I'll make sure you get the link for that. The Village Economic Development Committee, we resumed meetings this past month as well. So that's a positive step forward. And then some various business development meetings that I have participated in. A nice milestone note here for Pitch Hamburg, which is the business incubator. We received our certificates of incorporation for the 501c3 filing and our employee identification number for that as well. So essentially that company, that entity is official now with a board and with all of its legal entities. So we can go to the next step, which is a little premature in the current climate, but as we start to seek fundraising and to organize that 43 North type event, we have the groundwork established for that. So it's been quietly moving forward in the background as far as the organization side.
Are you the president of that?
I'm technically the president of that board. Yes. Yeah. So there's a 4-member board of directors. I'm the president. Heather Sidorowicz is with South Towns Audio Video. Mike Tatondo operates 10,000 Vines Winery, and Mike Cornell is also on the board. So
That's funny, he's almost never brought that up.
I'm not sure why. And like I said, we don't have like we made this introduction to the Hamburg Sun. We had a lot of momentum going, and then now you can't have large gatherings and events. So so we have 4 members on the board. We're looking to add more. So just putting that out there. What was I going to say? Sorry, I lost my train of thought with the joke there. These operators have had to shift focus and take care of their everything was kind of operating and business was doing great. And now for these businesses to survive, they had to organize curbside pickup, online platforms, payroll protection program enrollment, and what does that mean? And how do I get my discounts and my, deferrals? So they've just kind of had to shift, and it's pulled their focus from these volunteer efforts, unfortunately.
Is Pitch Hamburg similar to VBAC for the village?
No, Pitch Hamburg would be very it's essentially a business incubator. So it would be to work with people of any age, but we would love to, have a good focus on, high school students up and help them essentially take their ideas and develop them and bring them to market. So there would be essentially like an elevator pitch competition where we would establish a panel and have an event. They would pitch it, and if we would have a number of contestants, applicants selected, and then we would provide various supports for them, whether it be legal supports, insurance supports, manufacturing, distribution, really the whole line of it. So we'll help them establish this into an idea to take their idea to market. So, I mean, the one that's most referred to in Western New York would be ACV Auctions, which is a virtual car buying platform, more so for dealers and car brokers, not individuals. So it's business to business. And it essentially started with, a couple of young men, an idea, and now they employ like 800 people. So it's a Western New York business that has really had some significant growth. and was started through this incubator opportunity. One locally is Eagle Hawk, which Andy and I had met with, and their business, you know, it's interesting, little tangent, but how their business has shifted focus during the pandemic. So they've done a lot of work with drones and drone technology and imaging. They operate these drones now that spray chemicals, disinfectants, so they can just take drone equipment and disinfect theaters and auditoriums and arenas.
If they get
So.
nationwide news.
Oh yeah,
coverage.
they've been recognized in the Harvard Business Review, Wall Street
Really?
Journal, yeah. So, and these companies operate on the seed funding, of which we would not be a major player in that regard, but these companies can work through these business incubator entities and raise, you know, tens of millions of dollars to launch their projects. So we would be, you know, out of the gate, a very small, you know, version of that. So, but the idea is that, you know, it's a long shot, but that if you support these companies through the resources within your community, that they'll maintain in the community and operate in the community, grow the jobs within their community. So, nutshell, that's what Pitch Hamburg is.
I don't know how serious you are.
Well, once we're back in action, yeah, I would let you know what the commitment entails and what we're going on. So it's exciting. It's right, and it's, you know, it's very new. So everything is developing. You know, so it's really interesting to have that hand in molding. But it'll be a great resource for the town.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea.
Okay, and the other reports I have, I'm going to hold off until the land meeting. The next item on our agenda is RDGM. So RDGM is they currently operate at 5640 Malu Drive, and they are in the last year of a 7-year pilot term. So just to give you a little bit of background, because some of you may not even been familiar with this project, may predate your partnership with the board. Pilot expires 2020. The project has an assessed value of $300,000. So right now they're paying 30% of their assessed value in their last essentially level of pilot. What we're reviewing and voting on here is a resolution of the Town of Hamburg Development Agency authorizing the execution and delivery of a gap mortgage in the principal amount of $433,936.18 and a mortgage consolidation, modification, and extension agreement in the principal amount of $785,000 and other security documents required in connection with the refinancing of 2012 RDGM LLC, the project. So essentially, they are seeking additional funds. They're expanding at the site and potentially refinancing as well, maybe to take advantage of a better interest rate. The expansion does not involve, it doesn't meet IDA municipal law. So the expansion project is ineligible. It would be deemed under retail, under the retail clause of the general municipal law. So the expansion is not eligible. So we're not reviewing this as a project or looking to be a part of this. What we're doing is we're consenting to the financing so they can essentially operate as they want to and expand the site. Is that a good review?
Because there's an underlying pilot still in place from the original project, the IDA has to consent to any further financing. So the existing pilot will continue for the next 3 years as it was originally proposed. You're not getting any new money.
So what we're going to vote upon is giving me authorization to approve these documents and consent to the mortgage. The pilot provisions will remain unchanged, and they will be required to pay any and all agency fees and legal fees, to get this project to close for them.
I so move.
Thank you, Andy. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
And abstained?
Yes.
Thank you, Mary.
Could I ask what their increase in employment is going to be?
They, I believe there's going to be an increase of employment, but due to the fact that we will require them to maintain the employment as per the pilot with their expansion, because we're not doing any type of tax incentives or, mortgage recording tax. So they are expanding, and there is some employment associated with that. It's not a requirement, and we did not seek details because, they would have had to complete a formal IDA application if they'd be going for an inducement, so. Okay. And thank you for that. And next, I'd like to make a motion to, we got the vote. A motion to enter executive session to discuss a personnel contract matter.
So move.
Thank you, Andy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Hutch, you second that one? Okay, I have copies here.
On the record.
Uh,
Do you want to take it off live on YouTube?
yes.
And no one's on there that's not supposed to be on there.
I'd
Thanks,
probably
Janet.
ask,
Thank you,
Mary
Janet.